Hello, good morning. This is Dr. Devasena Desai. I'm the Associate Director for Kaveri Group of Institutes, and it is a pleasure and privilege for me to start our YouTube series. We have had a small gap in between, but we have been really very busy. And this is our 10th year of having completed Kaveri Gifted Education Research Center. So we're very, very happy that we have achieved one milestone, and our entire team is gearing up for a conference later this year. And we would like to start this year with a conversation with Mrs. Malika Shukla. She's from Bangalore. She has a 10-year-old gifted son. Malika, hi, welcome.
Hi.
Can you share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, myself, Malika. I live in Bangalore and I have a 10-year-old gifted son, and we love to read, and I love all kind of crafts and design and things like that. So yeah, like it was I know Kaveri from last 5 years, and it definitely supported me in so many different ways where nobody else can understand. I always came back to you guys, give me some help, and after this parent group is definitely helping us a lot.
Wow. So you are talking about the virtual All India Parent Support Group that we have. You've been
Yeah.
a part of it. I think it's been 6 years since we've had this parent support group. And in Pune, we have a very active in-person parent support group for our school and for people who are non-Kaveri group of institutes as well. And yes, your group is very active. But today, I'd like to ask to talk about, from your view as a parent, the challenges, the concerns, and the joys that you have faced as a parent of a child with gifted abilities. So, can you just share with us what are your concerns as a parent of a gifted child?
Concerns is like, because you kind of know that your child has such abilities, but then he might not be able to show it in a very traditional way. How people want to see this, just showing his talent off is not his trait, right? So unless and until he gets a proper environment, he would not show like what is his talent. How much
Can
ever
you
I
describe about what are his talents so that will help us to understand?
So, like he has like amazing ear for music.
Oh, okay.
So he was 3.5 or something when I introduced him to this small app, that keyboard app kind of things you get in tabs and all. And like within a half an hour, I realized he's playing Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell. So I said,
Wow.
wow, that's so nice, because it was giving the notes. So I thought, oh, I can also play that. And
Mm.
I tried, and it was not sounding anything like Jingle Bell. So he had the sense of timing and all that, and that's why he could figure that out so fast.
Oh, okay.
So by that age 4, we had a keyboard for him, and he would just pick up tunes whichever he likes. That also,
Mm.
it's not that he would like to listen to a lot of things. He would listen to very selective things, and then he will pick up the tune and then start playing by himself, like
Okay.
rhymes. So he started with all of that with rhymes. So then now you feel like, okay, then this child has such a talent. He will be star in school, right? In music and all. But nobody can see it unless and until they give him that kind of opportunity. Like recently, the annual day was there. And when they kind of gave him that option to play, then only they can see. It's not that he will go out and show them, oh, see, this I can play, this I can do. He will not do that.
Yeah. So would you say that he is actually an introvert? Or would you say that because he has advanced abilities in certain areas, he, reserves himself and chooses only when spoken to?
It's like a very strange kind of a mix. Okay, so when you meet him, you feel like he's an extrovert because he's like, he will simply go and start talking to you and all that. But when it comes to like real thing, feelings about him, then he will choose to keep quiet.
Oh, okay.
So you
So,
will not know, like, when I tell anybody that he's, not sharing, huh? He's not sharing, but he
that's
shares
not a
everything.
thing. Yeah. So
But
when
he
did
doesn't share the real thing.
oh, okay, sorry. So when did you realize that he is different from other children and his abilities are ahead of his peers?
We kind of, I think, always knew this, but then you feel like maybe it's a new generation kid, and they have all these, mobile and internet and all that, and they're learning things by themselves, and they have option of books and all that. But like by like he started school only, started coming up to me. Like when I taught him numbers 1 to 10, like rhymes only teach you, right? Then because he did not know what is 11 to 20, that is the only number I taught him. And after that he started making connection by himself and went on to, he would only ask me after like 29, 39, sometimes even say something like similar to it, then I have to just correct that.
Okay.
So I could see that he has ability to learn by himself, make connection by himself. But then in a traditional, I think, Indian household, nobody wants to make a fuss about it, like, okay, keep quiet, it's okay, no need to bother. So how we came to know about it is when the school asked, like, because they felt his social interaction is little different, and he was not making eye contact in the classroom setting, because before that he was in a Montessori setting, so he did not require to do that per se. So he was okay. So when they said, then we went for the test, then we realized that he has a higher IQ.
When you heard about it, what was your feeling as a parent?
Yeah, like more than me, I feel like our counselor was like really excited.
Okay.
He was like, he can skip the grade and this and that. But later on, he started like also thinking it's not logical, because these kids are mostly very sensitive, and sometimes they are really child at heart kind of thing, and that
Absolutely.
makes it complicated for schools to think about acceleration and things like that. So yeah, we were like, of course, it kind of gives you a, what can I say, like, we knew, but now it is official. It's like that.
Okay. You said a very interesting thing that the image of a school counselor is when you say it's gifted, then immediately everybody is thinking that a child will be in the category of double promotion, fast learning, and all that. So it's a myth. Not every children
No.
are have that ability of accelerated learning. Some of them need what you call as compact learning or different ways, differentiated learning, which is suitable for them. And that's another area that we at Kaveri are looking at to see how schools become aware and sensitive so that they can give alternatives to parents. Because as a school system, we do have teachers who have advanced learning capacities to teach and coach children. But we go through the traditional system of if you're in second grade, only after you pass that, you can go to third. Only if you've done that. So child might be advanced in math, he doesn't get to do it till, he comes to that particular grade and all that stuff. So once the school had come to know, how was the support system for you from the school?
Uh, Basically, again, like they even checked him around, like, they took him to different classes, and they realized that when he was in Mont 3, which is UKG in general, this one, he was comprehending till grade 3.
Oh, okay.
But again, because of all this, like how he can adjust and what we can do, they just simply kept quiet. They just said like, whenever when I asked teachers ki, you can give him little higher work, I can send the worksheets and you can keep it and give it to him. But even they were not ready for that. He's not, because he was not interested in writing. He's not finishing his own work only, ma'am. So then how can we? And things like that. And when he got bored, then it showed up in the behavior. And the conversation was always about behavior,
And
right?
not about the ability. Yeah, these are a few classical things that in a school we miss. And one of the things that you shared was gifted children, as fast as they think, they are not able to cope with writing. And even normal children don't dislike writing nowadays. Now more and more, because of the swipe and able to do only these hand movements and gestures. Writing skills as such are very, I wouldn't. It's becoming much lesser than how it used to be before. So for a child with advanced thinking or learning to be able to share what they are thinking in writing, sometimes it's a challenge, because I know a lot of gifted students have shared with us the way I have thought, I'm not able, my hands are not able to cope up and write. So that could be. But then when you don't write in a system, then you are not seen as being able to exhibit your excellence or whatever. So they would say the child is smart and is able to talk well in the class, but and has potential, but we don't see it in paper. So I think that is also another red flag for us as to what schools needs to do to be able to, kind of see these children in a much different and a better light. I understand. Then how is this uh, at a school he's working on certain levels and you're supporting for him as a parent. How do you help him bridge the needs of your child with the expectations of the school, like the social or his writing skills, all his reading skills? How do you help to cope? Because I'm sure it's not easy, because the child must be coming back to you and saying that these are the things I'm struggling with. But you know that orally the child is able to do it. So how do you really go about bridging this?
So he never complains, as I said, like, he would not share the things which needed to be shared. He would come home happy and generally be happy around, playing around, and whatever is his set of routines he created, that this time I would play with my father with this thing, or all that. So he would do all those things and try not to get too caught up with whatever is happening. He would just like keep it away, kind of thing, by sometimes like mindlessly watching TV. He would never watch TV before, like mindlessly. He would watch like particular one episode and switch off the TV. But after the school started and all these troubles started, then I noticed that he's finding that calm in just sitting and wasting his time,
Oh,
because that somehow like gives him that space ki, okay, nobody's like on my head now.
oh, okay. How so this is very tough when you see your child is doing things differently than other children, and therefore the parenting also changes. So in what kind of parenting have you adopted to be supportive for your son?
uh, so it's like it's not that easy, and
Right.
because like the general idea is always there, it's there in your head also, right? It's not just the other person is saying something. uh,
Mm.
like something are like inbuilt, and sometimes I'm saying something and I like, but how am I saying this is not fair, and still I'm saying it, right? So all we have gone through all of those phases. But yeah, now we realize like who he is, like for today when he said that he don't want to go to school, we realize there is a reason behind it,
Mm.
right? So we need to take that back step.
Okay.
and let him have that space, because he might be feeling suffocated. And if we send him back into the same environment again, he might not be able to calm down.
So when you take such kind of steps, both you and your husband are agreeable on this, or there are some conflicts as parents?
It's definitely started with all the conflicts, right? Because sometimes you feel like, if he's being gentle, then I need to be like step up and say like what is right, what is wrong, and things like that, and all that happened. Like, uh, you know, uh, but now we realized that we need to come together. We need to, like, yesterday night, I told him that it looks like tomorrow this is gonna happen, and then he needs our support. If in case he gets up and have the energy to go, fine. If in case he's not able to, then we have to support him, right? And then, like, my husband is very like, routine is very important
Important
for him, right? And so for him it is very difficult
to accept this flexibility.
accept these kind of situations. But then now he also started realizing that he needs this kind of space. There is, it's not that he's missing out on something, and we should not create that idea that he's missing out on something, and that is why he should be just be there. So yeah, like, it is a journey. Initially, we used to have a lot of differences and arguments. Like, if I say something, then he will go on the other side. If he says something, then I'm going on the other side. Then we realize ki nahi, if we are not on the same page, then
Yeah.
he will just get so worried about it. It's nothing that he's using us or anything like that, but more of, I feel that he gets very worried. There's something wrong in the system, right? So at least there are things which are very confusing and wrong outside. So at least we can provide that environment at home where he feels ki nahi, things are good here and I can come and relax here.
This is really wonderful, Malika, because I have heard a lot in my last 20 years of experience working with adolescent gifted children. This is where parents really struggle with, because you can make out that your child is different, and you can't easily share with everybody like how other classmates' parents would do. And you have to find your own niche where you can share, and at the same time to have that courage and that conviction where you say that house is going to be your best place of support, because if they get that, that's secure enough for them to face the other challenges that they face as gifted, that is the extreme sensitivity, like sometimes unable to express, or overthinking, perfectionism. These are all the few classical things sometimes hinder a gifted child. And we only see the child's excellence in terms of if he or she has done extremely well in a competitive exam and has made the parent proud, the class proud, the school proud. We are able to see that, but we are not able to see the things that trouble them, behind the scenes. That how much it affects them for weeks if they have been hurt for a small comment which was either shared in the classroom. It could be by their colleagues, the peers in the classroom. It could be by a teacher who didn't understand and is not aware of giftedness. So all this really adds a lot of ripple effects, basically. Yeah. So I'm glad that you have made this very important decision at home that the house will be a safe place for him and he feels very supported. So even if he gets mixed messages outside, he knows he always has a place where people understand and will nurture him the way he should be. That's really nice. So the other angle that I want to talk about, what helps you as a parent to manage unique dimensions that your child throws at you? So there are different interests that keep changing. Yeah. And in today's times, there are so many options available for them. And it's tough for the parent where to send, what to focus, what kind of books to buy or not to buy. Is this a good investment or not? The app, the whatever is required. So how do you go about doing those things?
Because I think I was a reader, so books is something uh, which may not be like possible for a lot of people. I
Mm.
do understand that, but then we should, I think about like how else you can accommodate that if you cannot spend that much money. Especially in my child's case, I know, and I know few other kids also. Books can be like if you introduce them early on and they find that sync with the book, nothing better than that.
Correct.
Because what happens is it's their own world, their own
Absolutely.
territory. Nobody is coming in and telling them anything. They are reading and taking in, and that's the best way they can learn.
Absolutely.
Matlab, because he has a good memory. So,
Mm.
sometimes he just says something like totally out of the world. I said, where you got this from? Sometimes he's able to tell, ki, oh, that book you gave me, remember? So our house is filled with books. We have no space for like clothes also now. Our cupboards are filled with books.
My God.
So, we just don't stop in terms of buying books. But if you can find a good library, that also helps.
Yeah.
Social, it helps in social, like going out, trying, figuring out, which was very difficult for him. We tried, but it kind of did not work out much. So, and then I don't have like very good libraries. Like my house has better books than the libraries. So then I thought, okay, uh, we have to keep it this way. We'll see what we can do later on. But yeah, so he's like immersed in all kind of books, and that is the first priority we have. And then of course, like we keep on juggling, and now if I look back, yes, we have done like so many things which um touch wood we have, and then we feel like okay, we can spend on this kind of thing, and then we know that he require this. So I have tried maybe 7 chess coaches,
Okay.
right? And like after 3 months I realized it's not going on very well, because this fellow likes the conversation. He likes
Mm.
to meet you. So even though you come and meet him and do anything, he'll be okay. He'll be sitting in the meeting and participating and nicely enjoying that. So I would not figure out if this is helping in the way which are we looking for.
Mm. That is true.
So sometimes like I have to like constantly have my 1 year on there and realize what is happening. And recently I put him in a physical chess class,
Okay.
which made a world of difference,
Mm.
which was not possible earlier. I knew that it won't work out. So earlier I was doing online. So it's like music classes are there, coding classes are there. So for coding also, I think I tried like 4 or 5 mentors, and finally I found one who's like in tune, and he's able to learn in a good speed. And so yeah, because we know that he does require these different avenues, because maybe school cannot give him a acceleration or whatever. So at least this will give him some kind of a calm, right? Okay, I'm learning something, and he's growing, he's learning at this stage where he's not already got resistant to everything, right?
Mm. Mm. That's lovely. I'm just curious, do you have a budget for buying books? Because you said you have better books than the library.
No, we like the world has also changed, right? So earlier the books which would have cost you like 5,000, 10,000 rupees, now they are available for like 1,000, right?
Okay.
And sometimes you like look for that deal, and when there are deals, you get like again 50% off and things like that. But yeah, books is something which we did not budget much.
Okay.
Like I am also totally crazy about the book, so that we go on as and when it comes. Like the other day, he asked me to buy the book, The Brief History of Time. So,
Mm.
okay, we are growing up.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting to note. I wanted to look into another track that we are saying um, from what we've been talking about, and for the past 1, 2 years that we have been doing at YouTube as well, trying to build awareness. We've always seen that we need to create a very compassionate community for these children, which is more empathetic, and they have much more sensitivity in the different communities that they really move around. Um, so especially the the scene in India is that somehow you manage your childhood and you become an adult, and again there somehow you manage, because you're an adult, people will put up with, at least you have built enough language skills to voice and express yourself, or withdraw or not be a part of a group or whatever. So I know that we need to have compassionate communities and all that. So can you share what is it that you are doing from your side that helps? Because I know you're very active in the group as well. You support a lot of parents, and to the people who are in Bangalore, the parents who have children and gifted and talented, and who are connected with us through the Kaveri virtual parent support group. You guys are really very active. So can you just share, how do you go about trying to build these compassionate communities?
So matlab, I'm always trying, but it depends on, like, because it's a big city. Sometimes, the distance only becomes a hurdle.
Yeah.
Sometimes time constraint is there and all that. And even like, I think initially even I was hesitant
Mm.
to, like, I can talk to the parent, but I was not sure if, a child to child interaction, how it would be, because both of them are like extreme. Then I'm thinking there might be a blast, right? So I was also afraid most of the time. But then like one day we were talking and we thought, like, somehow, with this parent, the connect was like very instant. And we were in the same city. And she was like anyways coming on this side, so she said, I will come and meet you. And they came with the family. And even though these two kids are like very different,
Okay.
it's not that they have exactly similar interest or anything like that, but the kind of, support they have for each other, like instant they figured out ki, okay, this person is like me or whatever, I don't know. But it was like very instant. While going, he was asking, how, where do I know you from?
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
But he was thinking, "Okay, definitely I know them before, right? So how do I know you? He's asking me, where do I know you from?" They are like already supporting each other. Don't tell him what to do. He will do what he want to do. So like both of them like constantly telling, ki nahi, nahi, let him be. Don't trouble him. Because they understand the pain more
Yeah.
than anybody else.
Yeah, so your son is very lucky he got a friend. I know a lot of young teenagers who continue to struggle not being able to find the right set of friends so they can sound off. And many a times they also have to mask because they want to blend in with the normal classroom and stuff like that. Yes, it's been such a pleasure talking to you and to hear about how you support your son, creating such a nice, warm, and a loving environment at home. And even so much so that you have stopped your professional life so that you can be a friend and a guide for him, because some of their needs are so unique. It's only a parent who can understand. Even as psychologists, as counselors, we can only do as much as we can. And like we said, every gifted child is so unique and different. Many a times even we need support of parents to tell us and give us the clues as to what really works and what doesn't work. So thank you, and it's such a pleasure to have this conversation and to kickstart 2024 with our conversation, and all the very best.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine.